everybody. Welcome to Community Call number 85. So good to see you all here. We start every, as Edu mentioned, we start every community call with a round of praise. It's really fun because it's decentralized updates. Everyone from every corner of the TEC gets to say what they've seen happen lately through a lens of gratitude. And every praise that is written down in the Discord actually gets quantified and turns into TEC tokens. So if you want to become a contributor, or if you see a contributor actually doing something really cool, don't be shy. Make sure to write the praise down in the praise channel or in any channel in Discord /praise. And if you've never done that before, /activate. I'm sure this is all mentioned before, but it's worth repeating. But that being said, we love to actually verbally express our praise here in this call. So I'll kick us off. I want to praise Angela for really holding down the token engineering vibes all across the ecosystem. Token Engineering Academy is amazing, and the TEC wouldn't exist without projects like you. I also want to praise Wonka for giving it his all in the Gravity DAO. And push for comments, and also the incredible work that Gravity has been doing lately. I want to, of course, praise Gideon for pushing forward Sampo and financial stability for the TEC. I want to praise Olivia for a constant push for soft gov and strong community vibes. I want to praise Tam especially for the incredible Community Stewards call today. It was really great to have 3 minutes for everybody to say what the larger vision of this is to do. Thank you so much, Tam, and thank you for everyone who participated in the Stewards call today. And I will pass it to, let's throw it to Mitch.
I'm good if you got me. Mid-bite. Okay. Sorry. I want to praise Neds for getting the FAQ page up in the praise dashboard. Christopher for getting the praise back up after an emergency upgrade failure. Mert for PMing the proposal inverter, which involves broaching tough decisions, recording answers, and pushing MVP forward. Mert and Ruben for awesome work on incorporating feedback and improving the wireframes and UX of the proposal inverter. Livy for engaging the discussion to name the reward system. Manu and Tam for keeping those stewards on track and organized. And Patty for really great feedback on quantification in the praise dashboard from the review call we had last week. And I will pass it to Angela.
Hello. Thanks, Mitch. I'd like to praise Eduardo for the really good vibes and at the onboarding call and running these calls. I'd like to praise Paddy for running TE Academy operations and onboarding so many local hosts. I'd like to praise Hita and Quiet Catalyst for running a CatCat study groups over the last couple of weeks, and yesterday presenting amazing results and application using CatCat in the background. This was really cool. I'd like to praise XM3VR, Shiwei, Invent and Chill for presenting yesterday at the trainee program first step selection process as part of the governance guild, and Livy for running the governance guild. Thanks. And I hand over the mic to Gideon. Hello.
Thanks, Angela. So let's see. So I'd like to praise Tam for some great ideas in a brainstorming session we just had on TEC services around token engineering consulting intake. Rex for his great work in building a unified treasury report that shows all of the balances in the TEC multi-sig wallets in one unified view. Still working on it, but it's great. Praise Griff and Bear and Chewy for valuable feedback on the Token Engineering Hall of Fame NFT campaign. Praise Mitch and Christopher and Olivia for working hard to extend praise to enable some key functionality that we wanted to implement in Sampo. I will pass to Tam.
Cool. I'd like to praise Griff for being such a rocket of energy and inspiration and heart all wrapped into one body. I'd like to praise Gideon for so many things. The letter to the token holders. You are a veritable wordsmith. Your clarity of thought and vision for the future of the financial well-being of the TEC, and being such an amazing sounding board for ideas and direction. I'd like to praise LBS for their richly informed and analytical perspectives about community building, often seeing things I don't see myself. I'd like to praise Wonka for pulling together another season of Graviton training. I'd like to praise Christopher for the reward system. It wouldn't be what it is today without your project management skills and the big visions you have for the future of what the reward systems can be. It's always an honor to even work with you. And I will pass to Russ Live.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So this is like one of the maybe second time I've done this. Just huge praise to Regis, who's not here, but has always been has always advocated for us from 40 Acres to be here more, spend more time with you guys, and whatnot. And also just shout praise to everybody in here for hosting and, curating this amazing space for us to learn, grow, and build. And I pass it to somebody. Okay, I guess Zep. I can't pronounce that. Zep.
Septimus. Yeah, thank you. I wanted this place to Mitch and Levy for supporting on the forum post that you post today regarding making a discussion on the reward system. I wanted this place to Juan for leading Gravity and being active in so many communities fostering Gravity. This is awesome. I wanted this place to Rex and Bear for all the work in the data standardization sheet. It's looking very great. I also wanted this place to Rex for all the queries in Dune he's building, and he's he's learning Dune, and at the same time everything he's learning is putting into the TC. It's very awesome. And I also wanted this place to Gideon for pushing Sampo and working on bringing revenue to the TC. And I'll pass it to Libby.
Thanks, Zep. I want to praise Nick for facilitating such an insightful session in SoftGov. The Figma board was super intuitive and an important piece to connect many talks we've been having. SoftGov, Omega, and Sampo working groups. Praise Edu for preparing an exercise for the next SoftGov call involving the tea flower. Praise Optimus for articulating his ideas about praise in a forum post that will open space for many more people to consider these issues and share opinions. Mitch for leading the operations of the reward system and make sure everything happens well and on time. Praise Benz for really impressive work he did with the TC metrics. He mapped data sources, existing metrics, possible metrics, in addition to a whole section just for Ostrom-related metrics. It was really incredible dedication and extra help. Praise Nugget for sharing the rewards distribution stats and analysis in the forum. Christopher for quickly fixing the praise bot that went down yesterday. Rest is in the chat. And I'll pass to Patty.
Hello. Thanks. I praise Nimrod. I hope he joins the Discord channel in time. But I praise him for the excellent call we had today to find more ways to collaborate and promote promote learning in token engineering. I also praise Davide from he's one of the hosts. He's super excited to have token engineering in 3D materials, so shirts and hats. And I'm praising for the effort and for going after all this material. I praise all the other hosts. I praise Vikram. I praise Rajat, Rohan, and I'll drop the rest in the chat later. I pass it. I don't know who hasn't been, so I pass it back to you, Griff.
Thanks so much, Patty. I can throw it over to Acid Laser.
Thank you, Griff. I'd like to praise Mount Manu for having some vacations. Praise to Alan, John, and Chewy for the effort in the animation and video production team. Praise to Dirk for being the creator at this week Graviton training session. Praise to Angie Berry and Efra for the great work they have been doing with the TEC Academy Communications. Praise to Juanca for being a great leader at Graviton, and Septi for all the great work he does at Transparency. and I'll pass it to John Jonas.
Thank you. Praise everyone for being here today. And I want to praise the animation team. Praise to Alan TV and AC Laser for the advances in the with the script. And praise to Chuy for leading the animation team. And I'll pass it to Double O.
Good day. Day. Can you guys hear me or see me?
Both.
Yay. Okay. Well, I just wanted to say praise to, I don't know everybody's name, but I'm trying to, TE Academy. I think it's Pat and the lady with AKRTWS. You guys always keep me informed. Big ups to you girls. I'm super excited to be a part of this community. I think this is just tremendous what we all can do. So I want to praise everybody on here. The buddy from 40 Acres Dow. I know you through Let Me Out Productions, and praise to you because this is like such a big task that we're all doing for the world. I feel like this, what we're doing, guys, is going to be something fabulous for the world. So praise to everybody. Thank you so much for this community.
Nice, and I can pass it for you this time. Let's throw it to Edu.
Thank you, Griff. So I'm gonna take not much to this time, but I wanna praise to the people who joined the orientation call today, and who stay for this call. Double O, Mackie Z, also Rose Life, and of course Angela. Thank you so much for joining early the call. It was so nice to have you there, and oriented people who were interested in Token Academy. So praise you to Angela. I want to give praise to Tam, just for being able to take the time to coordinate and meet, because this week we were like hunting for dates to meet. So thank you so much for taking your time to do that. I want to give praise to Mitch to let me know that my camera was on when I was not aware that my camera was on, and I want to give praise to Gideon for all his effort and our joint calls on Friday as usual. And with that being said, I will pass it on to Libby. Have you gone? Yes. Maybe I will try with UGX.
I just hopped in and I'm with 40 Acres Dow, but I'm not sure where the conversation is.
No worries, UGX. Here, I'll pass it to Wonka. I think you still have to go, right, Wonka? And just explain that it's praise. So anybody in the TEC that you've seen or that you've interacted with that deserves some gratitude, this is a moment to kind of tell us about it. So maybe Wonka can model.
Yeah, I would like to praise Griff, Franco, Ashley, and Lowy for being so welcoming in the Giveth house. I want to praise Septimus and Sam for having strong relationships that are long-lasting. I hope in work and in persona. Septi being a great treasury manager for Gravity, and Sam being the project manager of Unbreakable Bows. Praise to Patty and Angela for the invitation for the TE Academy in Spanish. Praise all the Gravity team, Durgadas, Bianca, Anna, Lynn, Jeremy, Aloysius, Acid Laser, Innovator, Bear, Morgan, Benz, and especially praise to Durgadas for leading this week's session of the Graviton training, Tam and Libby for being light of sense in the TEC, Michael, Rene, Sean, Renzo, Max for their support in Aragon, and Rose Life, Double O, and UGX for joining the community call. And yeah, you if you want, you can praise someone, UGX.
I don't really know many people here, but I would love to praise Durgadas. I don't know whether you guys, obviously I'm guessing everyone here is familiar with Durgadas, but just to say he hops into our Discord a lot and just always gives us because what we're a community of young Black men trying to bolster our communities out here. So he's always just been able to hop in and really like give us very, very needed knowledge, emotionally, whether it's emotionally, financially, whether it's just understanding how people move, and whether it's, trying to help us build out what we're doing out here with, obviously with Token Engineering Commons and Token Engineering and just building out communities. So I definitely want to give praise to Durgadas. And I also want to give praise to everyone here for being so welcoming and allowing people to come.
Nice. Thanks, UGX. And I can pass it for you. But thank you for jumping in and praise, and so smooth. Let's throw it to Mock. Maki ZY.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for passing it to me. I want to praise everyone for taking time to help new contributors to contribute, to learn, and to be part of the community. I also want to make a shout out to Tam. She has been so coordinated, and I hope to be like her someday. Nice one.
Nice. And I think Mert is last.
Thank you, Griff. I would like to praise Mitch for writing very detailed report of our last meeting in Proposal Inverter. I would like to praise Gideon for writing very good token holders message. The writing quality of his is always like astonishing. I would like to praise Nick, Steph, and Letty for moving forward the NFT discovery game in Omega Library. And I will continue others on by writing. Thank you.
Write them all.
What?
I just said write them all. Like
yeah. Write as many as you can in the channel, and thank you all for coming to 85th Community Call. Wow, TEC feels like we've been here forever, right? 85. Well, you just experienced praise, and I already said this at the beginning, but if you want your praise to turn into TEC tokens, write them in Discord, /praise, and if you've never done it before, /activate first, and then connect to your account and play the game. But it's amazing because you get to decide who gets TEC tokens through our reward system, and we do it through praise. Also, we're pretty much a cameras on crew. Of course, you don't have to always get your camera on, but we love to take screenshots and show everybody's smiling face. So turn on your camera, get a good smile on, and we'll take a screenshot in a little bit while I read the vision. So our vision for the TEC is to enable the creation of ethical, safe, resilient, and diverse economic systems to benefit societies around the world. UST was not safe, and if the TEC succeeds, that kind of thing will not happen that often. So thank you all for the screens on, screenshot, click. Okay, moving on. Next, I always love to talk about Gravity. Gravity is our behind-the-scenes conflict resolution service. Thank you so much, Wonka and the whole Gravity team. Anytime that there's a conflict, big or small, feel free to reach out to the active gravitons on the side, whether it's a conflict that you just witness or a conflict that you see between two other people, or a conflict that you're in. The active gravitons can help resolve the conflict behind the scenes so it doesn't fester and boil into something bigger, And if you don't feel comfortable talking synchronously about the conflict, you can always fill out our type form, which is linked right here. And if you want to link to the slides, I just put it in the general channel just for fun. Also, another way that we DAO is through advice process. Advice process is so valuable for flat organizations. When someone has to make a decision, there's no managers, there's no bosses, there's no one saying this is what has to be done top down. So bottom up, we have to build some of these strategies in, and advice process is a big one. Anytime you're making a decision, maybe it seems basic, but it happens all the time that we don't follow advice process. Anytime you're making a decision, talk to the people who are affected by the decision and talk to the experts on the topic before you make the decision. Once you have their input, then you can actually make a very informed decision with the conflicts that might arise understood. So advice process is critical. Also, let's just look at the progress of the DAO. So last week, the TEC price was a little less than $1.50, and we had a common pool with about 270K in it. And but now we actually went up. We're up 6 cents, so that's cool, $1.55. And That's that interesting enough. That is exactly arbitraged with the burn price in TEC Convert. So we have our augmented bonding curve, which actually issues the TEC token. And right now, if you burn it, it's the same as the market price. So arbitrage is happening. That's very nice. The minting price, if you want to mint TEC, is $1.85. So that's some information. And in the last week, looks like about, so you can see this total supply. It's 2,279,839. Well, it looks like we have burned about 3,000 even. So about 3,000 TEC tokens were burned, which of course added more money into the common pool, but the common pool is a little bit less because team got funded, the animation team. I believe it was the animation team got funded. So yeah, that's what's going on in the DAO. And of course, there's also some votes up here. We have 30% on abstain. The Stewards working group proposal is still listed. However, I hear that they're going to delist it potentially, but we'll see. I'm sure Tam will talk more about that. There's the retroactive funding for ETH Denver. There's an interesting transparency proposal that's up there, and there's also, we're still looking for votes to update the tributes. So the update tribute vote is up, and we have 3 days to pass it, and we definitely need your support. We still only have about 5% of the votes, so don't be shy. Go rock the vote. And if you want to know more about these votes, actually tomorrow we're having our first proposal party. Major praise to Edu for putting this together. We're going to talk about voting in the TEC. We're going to talk like how all this system works. We're going to talk about Sampo's upcoming vote, transparency's request for funding, tributes, and many more topics. It happens tomorrow, 9 a.m. in LA, noon in New York, 6 p.m. in Barcelona, and midnight in Manila. So definitely join the party if you can. And with that, I'll just pass it over to Tam to give us the updates from the community stewards.
Cool. Thanks, Griff. So we are the community stewards and working group, and my co-steward Nate is on paternity leave, coming back at I think the end of this month. So looking forward to that. We are in Sprint 36. Sprint 36. If you click on this, link here, you will open up this Sprint board, the TEC coordination workspace, and you can see everything that is on the our Sprint board, which is super overwhelming. So if you drop down to the Sprint May 27th to June 9th, you'll see what the working groups are working on specifically. You can filter by the working group that you want to see what's on their plate, by good first issue or contributors, if you want to see if there's something that you can hop into immediately or help needed. And this is the work that's being done this sprint, and these are the things that are currently in progress for each of the working groups and the people on the sprint board. There's a list here of all of the stewards working groups. I'm not going to go through the list. I'm just going to say that it's stewards working group, but actually anyone in the community is invited and encouraged to join any of the meetings that you see here, any of the Scrum events or weekly events or council meetings. Okay, so I'll just hop on to the Stewards Council that we just had before this. The Stewards Council is a biweekly meeting where we tackle some big question. In this case, out of our last retrospective, one of the questions that came up, or that the action that was that we voted to bring into the sprint, is to boost token holder and contributor confidence with an outline of plans for what's next. So we decided to focus on that in our Stewards Council today. There was a lot of people, and the way we run discussion groups is just make sure there's a chance for everyone to understand clearly what the questions are, and then to share their thoughts and perspectives. Everyone had about 3 minutes, and quite a lot of different answers for how each of us see the future of the TEC, and more specifically our specific working groups. We also had a little time at the end to go over Gideon's letter to token holders, which I'm sure the Sampo working group and Gideon will talk a little bit more about. And then what was on the community stewards' mind this week? So our weekly meeting this week, we did a normal temperature check just to see how things are going in the community and for ourselves. We talked about the token holder message that Gideon has prepared, as well as the Stewards Working Group funding. So the Stewards funding proposal did not pass on Gardens, and it's pretty sure it's not going to pass. It's requiring something along the lines of 220,000 tokens to pass. So it is a great opportunity for the Stewards Working Group to look at evolving what the Stewards Working Group can be, should be, and how we provide the most service to this community. So we talked about we'll have enough compensation, enough in the multi-sig to compensate almost everyone in May. And then in June and September, evolve not just our manifesto, but then the corresponding funding request. We will probably eliminate the working group coordination lead role entirely from for other working groups. We may keep it as a sprint facilitator in the stewards, and then really differentiate between compensated and uncompensated stewards and different roles for stewards in the community based on the services the value that they provide and the amount of time that they have to really participate and engage in the TEC. In short, going very lean. Chewy shared the Twitter bio with us as well. And that was the end of that meeting. And so next, I just want to say TEC Forum, there's so much going on here. And if you want to get involved right away, take a look at what's on the TEC Forum. It's a great opportunity for everyone to share their thoughts and ideas with the whole community. And lastly, I will conclude with Twitter retweets equals love. So one way you can help the Token Engineering Commons right now is to retweet some of our tweets. This one I think was my favorite this week. It's from Nate, who's on paternity leave, the co-steward of the Stewards Working Group. And it is just a really positive futuristic look of how the TEC is able to fund public goods through using this innovative technology, the augmented bonding curve. All the cool stuff happens in the working groups. So with no further ado, I will pass to Wonka and Gravity.
Thank you, Tam. Well, in Gravity, we are trying to develop competence regarding conflict management. And I really liked this tweet from Vitalik that he tweeted today, that he says, peacekeeping and cooperation seeking needs to be an explicit effort rather than peace being an assumed default. Yeah, we need to be prepared to facilitate cooperation, because if we don't facilitate cooperation, it's going to be harder. And for that, we're having the third Graviton training. The third session is next week with Morgan, and we will be talking about trauma-informed culture and anti-oppression also. It's really cool. So you are all invited. That call is on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. CET, but we also have a lot of activities during the week. On Mondays, we are having an observational research on psychology and well-being. On Tuesdays, we have the umbrella coordination call in Aragon at 11 a.m. CET. It's really early for America, but it's a good call because the Aragon is our first client for the services that we provide external to the TC. On the Wednesdays, we're having our coordination call, and we also tackle organizational development in that call. And in Fridays, we also have a website design call at 8 p.m. CET. Last week, we had this Mental Health Awareness Month event, but I forgot to erase this. So this Friday, we only will have the website design call. And we use SendHub to keep the registry of our cases. They work to coordinate bounties. You can request support managing conflict through their type form or contacting the active Gravitons. And you are all invited to the Graviton training and to join any of our calls if you want to continue learning or contributing with what we're doing. And with that, I'll pass to Softcup.
Thank you, Wonka. In SoftGov, we meet every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Europe time, and the purpose of SoftGov was initially to implement Ostrom's principles into the TEC culture, and then we've been looking into governance and culture and decision making, also beyond just voting mechanisms. And this week we had our first kind of joint call between Omega and SoftGov, and Nick facilitated this beautiful exercise that had these questions. Oops, wrong one. Had these questions of I use my energy towards energy flows back to me when I direct energy towards the TC, because I direct energy towards the TC by TC currently energizes me by TC could energize me in other ways by. And then we had a reflection on those, just on the ones we wrote personally. So we didn't read what anyone else wrote. And based on our self-reflection, there was a final one that was, if any of what I wrote is true, it might be helpful if I. So it was a call for understanding our place in the community and what are some proactive actions we can take to adjust ourselves if we understood that there is an unbalance between energy giving and receiving. So it was very insightful, this exercise. And next week, Edu will be facilitating a session to look more into the tea flower that is here and mapping around it. So it's going to be really fun. I invite everyone to join. And on the Tea Governance Guild, we went a little bit deeper
And
on.
Lydia, just so you know, you're sharing the Discord if you're trying to share anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought all this time I was sharing the board. Well, I'll post it here in the community hall. Thank you, Griff. But
Thanks.
in the TE Governance Guild, we had a discussion a little bit more on what is the project we're going to work on, and things are shaping its way towards DAO metrics. So we had a lot of, it was very exciting, the conversation about it. And I think next week we'll start working more hands-on and have more to share. And Angela, if you want to share more when you talk about TE Academy, feel free to. And I'll pass to Edu with that.
Thank you so much, Libby. So basically, Communitas working group, for those who are interested in, meets on Monday, 8 p.m. CET, and orientation call just happened before this call. Besides that, just your general sense making of our community, we have reached 204,000. 2,400 members on our Discord. Now there you go. And then we have welcomed more than 600 people on the Communitas working group. We are posting tomorrow our funding proposal for Communitas working group on the forum. Also, Jason is not here, but he asked for some time to share about the Writers Guilds. I don't know, Gideon, if you want to just share a little bit about the Writers Guilds, because he wanted to, invite everyone who may be on this call to have more information about it.
Thanks, Edu. I'm going to pass on that until next week because I'm not sure exactly what he had in mind. So I'll ask him and then we can do it next week. But did you have anything else on Communitas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just quickly. And sorry to put you in the spotlight. So back to Communitas working group. We will do next week, as Livy mentioned, a small cross working group exercise, and we will try to map out the TE flower. We are seeing that sometimes for people to be plugging in the TEC, they are confused about the whole ecosystem, the whole things, and the amount of stuff that we have here. So we want to map out and see, based on the TE flower that we share so much and we love so much, how we can match the TE flower to our current affairs here in the TEC? Which are the areas that we are actually doing something from that flower? What needs to be updated? Who are the people who are key experts on these areas that are currently in the TEC and so on? So it's an exercise that it's based on everyone's knowledge. So if you have been here in the TEC, please join next Softcov call. It could be really interesting. And here you will see the screenshot of today's orientation call. We have a variety of people. The highlight was that Irene, who is here in this call, her sister joined our call. So we are expanding our universe of connections here in the TC. So it was so nice. Plus that, we had a variety of backgrounds during this call. We had a lot of people looking and focused on education. Luckily for us, Angela joined the call so she could brief everyone also on the TEC Academy first. And besides that, we had Nate jumping in, and as Laser and Costa also jumping in, and basically a lot of people who were interested in token economics, a lot of people who were requesting information. And there was also the sentiment of they want a sounding board. They want a place where they can bounce ideas and receive feedback of those ideas. So that's basically what happened today on the orientation call. And with that being said, I will pass it on to Gideon.
Thanks, I do. First, actually, I just want to do a shout out to the 40 Acres guys. Thanks for joining. It's great to have you here. This is an overview of the Sampo working group. So Sampo is basically focused on kind of the economic development of the TEC. So how do we build revenues? How do we generate demand for the TEC token? And how do we fundraise? So that's the kind of the primary focus of what we do. Big thing this week is we just posted the funding proposal for the first season of Sampo. That's up in the TEC forum. So please go take a look at that. There's already some conversation going up there. Thank you, Angela, for your comment on that. And just got a comment from Trent. That's good too. So appreciate all that. And as for what we're doing right now, the thing that we just we're working with the stewards on that Tam mentioned is a note to existing TEC token holders. So this is really just kind of a reflection on all the great stuff that's been happening since the upgrade of the commons, and then some look at like where we're going between now and the end of the year. It's really important for us to communicate with the token holders and make sure that they continue to have faith and are excited about what we're doing. So that's the focus of that. The initial focus over the next couple months, you'll see it in that funding proposal, is really the first thing is on a TEC service. So we're defining our initial service, trying to keep it very simple to start. Looks like the initial thing we're going to be focusing on is a token engineering consulting intake process. So basically looking for ways to match. We get lots of requests for token engineering support, trying to match that with consultants who are out there in the field who know how to do that. Second thing is fundraising campaign. This is too detailed to go into right now, but the thing that we're looking at first as a way to kind of ramp up our ability to do campaigns is an NFT campaign focused around this idea of a token engineering hall of fame. So basically bring some attention to the field itself, help explain the field, help bring some attention to some of the leaders, people who have actually led the way, and then also help us to bridge to maybe some people who are token engineers but don't even call themselves that. There'll be more information on this coming out over the next month or so. So with that, I'll hand it over to Omega, whoever's going to do that today.
Does anyone want to take on for Omega, or I can definitely fill in.
I can go, Griff.
Oh, great! Thanks, Mert.
Yeah. So Omega Working Group is a working group where we explore token engineering ethics and ethos through a transdisciplinary lens. So this week, as Livia mentioned, we started our collaboration with Softco. Nick facilitated, I think, our and what we call NFT discovery game, where we understand our value proposition in our work. So, and also for the so we are building a token engineering library with token engineering OGs. We are now creating design for it. So if you guys wanted to participate and contribute to design phase, it will be awesome. And you can give feedback and drop comments on those links. Then, yeah, these weeks, that will be our main focus actually. So if you want to participate, we are holding our calls at 8 p.m. CT.
Onun dışında kalan şey galiba
Yeah.
benim gelip bir şeyler koyamam.
And that's it.
Thanks, Mert. Thanks so much. And next is Comms Working Group, which I assume Acid Laser, are you taking it?
Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you. So the communications working group, we meet every Monday and Tuesday. At Mondays, we have most of the teams' calls. We have the Twitter one, the TEC Academy, and translations. And at Tuesday, we have the marketing and the regular communications call. At the updates of the week, with the TEC Academy team, they are working on the next proposal coming to, so they are making some modifications in animation. We are working now in the character design for the reward system tutorial. Also, our proposal passed in Gardens, and we are start to making the updates in the reward system working channel. And the marketing team, the newsletter number 3 is coming up. And NT and Jean are covering Manu because Manu is having some Sundays off. So NT and Jean are the leaders now at marketing. In translation, we're moving forward to the first articles upload to the Mirror. That's very cool to see all the updates of translation teams. And in Twitter, we are keeping up with TEC news and campaigns. Now we have the TE Tuesdays. We're working on more on TEC stars. Charmin Boschmuger, I don't know how to say it, but it's going to be the next TEC stars, I think, tomorrow. And we are working in the new bio of Twitter. There is a link there if you want to make some opinions. We have a very good idea, but if you want to make some feedback, feel free to do it. And with that, I'll pass it to Transparency. Thank you.
Thanks, Acid Laser. Yeah, on Transparency, we meet every Monday, 5 p.m. CT. Yeah, basically, like we work on the template and data standardization. We get like, can you go to the next slide and actually show like the one that says template? The one that says data standardization is Gravity, but in the template, like, yeah, this is what we're trying to we would love like every working group use this template, but if the working group don't know what to use, like we were just going to fill it by them. But basically with this template, like we can get all the treasuries. Like the working groups only need to, like if you go to the first one, it shows different on my computer. Maybe I share my screen. Screen 2. So yeah, basically like in this metadata, like if, for example, like anyone had any different token in their balance, like, I don't know, like maybe someone have some Luna, then when they go to the inflows, like it's automatically going to be shown there, and all the rest is going to be done automatically. So the only thing like working groups should be doing is like adding like this first thing, like, also like categories can also be done here. So yeah, we're trying to use this document like to standardize the data, and yeah, basically like there's also like one row, like there was some discussion around tracking salaries of people. That's also done here. And yeah, basically like a huge praise to Rex for all this work, and Bear also supported him. And yeah, this is like this part. And then also Rex he's super cool because he's learning to use Dune, and at the same time, since he's learning, he's also using his time to practice with TC data. So all the things like he's building with Dune is probably going to make it like on the main page, but for now he's just practicing. So shout out to Rex here. And then another update is a bit sad, but we tried to make the CoinGecko circulating supply, and it's not working basically because they say like our liquidity on secondary market is not enough. So yeah, basically like there are some like our bigger pools in Honeyswap are the one from water and the Giveth one, and the subgraph is not working. So if any dev like want to help out our friends at One Hive, that would also benefit us since we could get easier listed in CoinGecko like the market cap. And then for last, we have a proposal live in conviction voting. So if you want to keep seeing like all these transparency activities, like getting all the calls, managing the security, digital security, and all the things we do, updating the audits and stuff, check out the proposal and support it. And with that, I'll pass it to Liga.
Sorry, I was too busy voting to support the transparency proposal. Legal working group. There's no major updates. We meet every other Friday. If you have any friends that are like really excited about the legal situations around bonding curves or around any kind of DAO topic, invite them to our legal calls. They happen every other Friday. Not tomorrow, but 8 days from now is the next one. So come on in, and I'll keep it short like that, and I'll throw it over to Mitch for the rewards working group.
Thanks, Griff. So we have our meeting weekly on Wednesdays, 2 p.m. Eastern and 8 o'clock Central European. So a few interesting updates here in the next slide. Let's see what you're streaming, Griff. Yeah, you got it. Okay. So we'll be opening the next round. That'll be Quant 12 tomorrow. That'll be for the second half of May. Rewards for October 21 should be going out later today through the reward board. There's some links there to check out the forum post and also a direct link to the RAD analysis. Shout out to Nebs. He put up an FAQ page right into the Praise dashboard. Just need some content. And so actually I started a discussion for quantifiers and for anybody who's really interested in Praise. What are your frequently asked questions? And so hopefully we can start a discussion here and start to fill out some content right into the dashboard. I think with comms, we'll be pushing forward an initiative to start activating people's source cred. This will be super important to link your GitHub and your discourse to an Ethereum address so we can send you rewards for the activity that you did on them. Another discussion we have right there is what should we name the reward system? So, reward system is kind of like to the point, but it's not very descriptive, especially when we're trying to explain it to external orgs that maybe want to install their own. So just like a fun discussion, like what do you think we should call this thing? So go ahead and jump in there, and if you have any ideas, throw them in. Some regular PSAs. If you guys want to learn how to dish great praise, there's this wonderful document written by Livy called The Rules of Praise. And the other one, become a quantifier. So if you want to get involved in the quantification process, just reach out to me. I can help you get all the onboarding documents and learn how to do it and add you into the pool. And third thing, /activate. If you haven't done it already, activate your Praise account so we can send you some rewards, okay? So this is only really to your benefit. So get in there, type in /activate in the TEC Discord and follow the prompts to activate your account. And yeah, just some links there. In the slide, if you're not aware, again, /activate to activate your Praise account, and /praise to praise, and a link to the Praise dashboard.
There is a forum post. There is a forum post engaged regarding rewards.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, I thought you go to in transparency. So Zep started a post there, and let's see if we can find it. It should be on the front page, Griff. Zep started a discussion to help improve the accuracy of praise, and also kind of defining like what is praise supposed to do, or what are the reward systems supposed to do. And so just kind of starting a discussion to gather some ideas, improvements that we can make, maybe better understanding of what actually we're trying to do with the reward system. So that's up and open for advice and feedback. Cool. And I think that's pretty much all the updates. And we can pass it along to Angela.
Yeah, some news from TE Academy. If you can get to the next. Yeah, TE Fundamentals update. We are building the new TE platform where we launch TE Fundamentals and make our courses available with general magic, with course designers and Chris, Andrew, Onur, and Jess, who are working on the content. And again, launch is September, October. And while doing this, we have plenty of ideas on driving TEC demand, right? Because, I mean, many of the elements at this platform to register, to fund activities, to stake on most relevant documentations, for example, that don't exist yet in cryptoeconomics. Think of the big protocols. They don't, just to give you one example, they don't have proper cryptoeconomics documentation. I know that the tokenomics DAO is investing into things like that. And there's more, and protocols. This could be a source of revenue and TEC demand, just to give you one example. But whenever we discuss it, how can we integrate it? We also know this needs funds and time to build it, right? To connect it with the bonding curve, to have the right smart contracts, to design the right incentive mechanism, the parameter setting. We all know it from the hedge. Building this takes time and funds. And when I've read through Gideon's proposal on Sampo, which, I mean, the general direction is great, but still, I think we really have to take a look at. We know that we launched this platform in September, October. Then to build new TEC demand elements, we need some more couple of months to find the right approach for the value proposition to implement it. And maybe by then, by September, October, there isn't even any or enough funds left to build something like that to drive TEC demand, because we're just at the moment spending it with having not enough inflow to the commons pool. And that's why I've added this comments to Gideon's proposal, Sampo. I really think we should change how we deal with the commons pool. Yeah, just read through the comments that are available and add your own. I really think it's an important conversation here. And there are, but generally, TE Fundamentals, great news. We crossed 1,500 signups, by the way. And next slide, TEC as a magnet. I think I've mentioned in one of the recent community calls that I think that TEC can really play an important role to make cryptoeconomics much more visible at the big events around the globe. And I had the chance to have a conversation with ECC. They are interested. They want to reshape ECC in 2023, basically grow it. You probably have experienced how hard it is to get tickets, and cryptoeconomics should play a major role there, and TEC could play a major role here. So we decided to continue conversations in October when they start planning 2023. I think there are funding opportunities. There are opportunities for driving TEC demand. Imagine you could vote on talks with TEC, for example, and next steps in October, feel free to ping me. I'll let you guys know once we have this call, and happy to have more TC people involved. And last but not least, we are still running and scaling up the number of T360 calls around the globe. Thanks to Paddy and our great local hosts, there's a Notion doc to find all the sessions. And finally, Introduction to Token Engineering in Spanish, as mentioned, on June 10th, first session in Spanish. Yeah, it will be fun to have this session. Sign up if you haven't, and June 10th at 4 p.m. UTC. Yeah.
This last slide, sorry,
yes,
just added.
important. Paddy.
Jumping in quickly, we have a channel on our Discord for the Spanish-speaking community. So kicked off because of this introduction to TE and the many events we already went to here in the Latin America. So this is scaling, and if you are Spanish speaking, you can just drop there, leave a hello, and come by to the introduction to token engineering. Thanks.
Man, Discord today. Thank you so much, Angela and Patty, for the amazing conversations, as always, around TE Academy. And thank you everyone who came to the community call today. It was a great one. We have a lot of action on the forum. Definitely check it out. And remember to activate your praise and vote. And there's all the things, all the same things every week. Thank you so much for coming. And I'll give you back your 2 minutes. Oh, voting party tomorrow. No spotlight today because we're going to spotlight a bunch of stuff tomorrow. And hopefully we'll see you there. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
See you later.
Bye.